As you approach retirement, it is important to accumulate assets and build a financial plan that can sustain your lifestyle during your golden years. While calculating the cost of your changing income needs can be daunting, our Retirement Income Evaluator can help you develop a roadmap for the future. To learn more, stop by our office located at 162 South 2nd Avenue in Clarion. As you approach retirement, it is important to accumulate assets and build a financial plan that can sustain your lifestyle during your golden years. While calculating the cost of your changing income needs can be daunting, our Retirement Income Evaluator can help you develop a roadmap for the future. To learn more, stop by our office located at 162 South 2nd Avenue in Clarion. Give us a call at 814-223-9990 or visit JanneyClarion.com. Janney Montgomery Scott, LLC, member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC. Buying, selling, or building a home? Then call Burford & Henry Real Estate today at 814-227-7355. For more than 15 years, Burford & Henry Real Estate Realtors have been ready to help you in your next property search. They are also the #1 agency selling more homes in the region than anyone else. And with their Showcase Homes divisions, their expert consultants can help you with building the home of your dreams. Check out Burford & Henry online at burfordandhenry.com. Burford & Henry Real Estate Services, something different.
Folks, welcome to the Janney Montgomery Scott in Clarion QR Coaches Chalkboard Show on the YDL Sports Network. I'm Chris Rossetti. You're looking at Andy Close next to you. You'll be joined shortly by Jess Quinn here. And next to me is Riley Klingensmith of the Clarion Limestone Lions. The Lions big winners over Kane here in the District 9 Class 2A quarterfinals. And Riley, did you guys ever imagine starting the way you started this game? I think it was like 22-5 at the end of the first quarter.
We didn't really plan on, we wanted to come in hot like that. I don't know. It all really played out. We came in, held them to 0 points for quite a while there, which is a good thing. So,
coming off the KSAC championship game win on Saturday, you guys really only had probably 1 day worth of practice to get ready for this game. What was the strategy going in?
Same thing whole season. We know defense wins games. We want to come in, keep up that high pressure, and then just get the ball up the floor as fast as we can.
And you were able to accomplish that early on. How much confidence does that give you as a team when the game plan works early on in a game like this?
It really boosts your confidence, and especially moving on from here on out, we want to stay confident but not cocky.
How much of a lift was it to see Jace Ferguson back on the floor tonight?
It was great to have Jace back. We didn't have him for a while. It's kind of weird to see him out there. But, it was great to have him back.
You're going to turn around and you're going to meet Garden City again. We've done this one a few times already. This will be the 4th meeting between you guys. You've beaten them twice. Obviously, here it was easy for you. There it was easy for them. At Tip and Jim, it was a dogfight. What do you expect the 4th time around?
I'm expecting another dogfight. Hopefully, it's a good one. We'd like to blow them out, but it's always fun to have a good game.
Folks, that's Riley Klingensmith on our Daddies in Clarion interview. So thanks to Riley for joining us. Jess Quinn and I will be back here in a moment to break things down a little further with it. And Riley, good luck against Garden City in the semifinals.
Thank you.
For residential and commercial construction services you can trust, call Delta Contracting and Design Incorporated in Strattonville today at 814-764-5506. Or if it's concrete and excavating work you need done, then call Ace Concrete and Excavating at 814-764-5551. More on both Delta Contracting and Design and Ace Concrete and Excavating can be found at delcondesign.com. That's DELCON design.com. As you approach retirement, it is important to accumulate assets and build a financial plan that can sustain your lifestyle during your golden years. While calculating the cost of your changing income needs can be daunting, our Retirement Income Evaluator can help you develop a roadmap for the future. To learn more, stop by our office located at 162 South 2nd Avenue in Clarion. Give us a call at 814-223-9990 or visit JanneyClarion.com. Janney Montgomery Scott, LLC, member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC. Looking for affordable auto, home, and life insurance? Look no further than Allstate Insurance, the David Jones Agency in Clarion and Meadville. At the David Jones Agency, you get personalized attention from someone who lives where you do. The David Jones Agency meets you where you are. They are available during regular business hours, Monday through Friday at their office, via appointment at the office after hours, or remotely. The David Jones Agency also offers investment opportunities, including annuities and IRAs. The David Jones Agency can be reached in Clarion at 814-223-4000 and in Meadville at 814-337-5107. Buying, selling, or building a home? Then call Burford and Henry Real Estate today at 814-227-7355. For more than 15 years, Burford and Henry Real Estate Realtors have been ready to help you in your next property search. They are also the #1 agency selling more homes in the region than anyone else. And with their Showcase Homes divisions, their expert consultants can help you with building the home of your dreams. Check out Burford and Henry online at burfordandhenry.com. Burford and Henry Real Estate Services, something different.
Back here on the Janney Montgomery Scott QR Coaches Chalkboard Show. Chris Rossetti, Jess Quinn. In the secondary photo there is Andy Close. Let's go to Andy first. He had an opportunity to watch on video from the Karn City Port Allegheny game. It was a close game at the half, Andy, and then Karn City started the second half on a 20-3 run to pull out the win.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, 19-14 at halftime, and just there was a lid on the bucket for Port Allegheny. They had, with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, they had scored 5 points in the second half. And, Port got hot late and hit some threes to kind of make it look a little closer than what it ended up, or a little closer, than the final score would indicate. But Karn City just came out and dominated the second half. I think it was Hobie Bartow got the run started with a three, and they just kind of went from there, man. It was impressive.
We're just in from St. Mary's High School. Ridgeway on a layup by Aaron Sorg with 7 seconds left defeats Red Bank Valley. I think it was 37-35. It was a 2-point game. What the final score right now is immaterial. Ridgeway winning by 2. What a couple of days it's been for the Elkers. They lose that game on the shot that probably shouldn't have counted on Saturday, and then they come back and they win one on a shot with 7 seconds left tonight. But the defending champions still alive. They'll play the winner of the Otto Eldred versus Kerwinsville game. That game was scheduled for tonight. The weather earlier today forced a postponement till tomorrow. That game will now be 6 o'clock, part of a doubleheader with the girls' game down there. So, Andy, that you saw that Ridgeway team on Saturday, and again, they're gonna be the cardiac kids, aren't they? If they're gonna make a long run here.
I'll tell you what, this is a team that, they're not afraid to play in close games. They play a lot of them. Their style of play sometimes dictates that. But they will not be, I don't know if you can say the same for every team in this playoff field. They will not be intimidated by a close game late. They've been in that situation time and again twice in the last 2 games. And I think, there's something to be said for that. And there's something to be said for that championship pedigree. Are they the favorite in this bracket? No, but could I see them, winning again? I know Otto.
They put themselves in a position by winning tonight that they're guaranteed 2 more games. They've got a shot at a state playoff.
Right.
They're right where they want to be. They're playing maybe with a little bit of house money too.
I know a potential semifinal with Otto Eldred is fascinating to me.
Well, yeah, because you got one team that's going to keep the game in the 30s and another team that's going to want to put the game in the 60s.
That's right.
What we saw here tonight was a team that wanted to run. The Clarion Limestone Lions, they just keep running and playing defense and turning teams over. And they turned Kane over a bunch here in the first half, Jess, and that's why it was a 28-point game at halftime.
It was the amount of turnovers, Chris. It's just a testament to what they want to do. I was talking to some of the people from Kane that I know, and they were impressed with how CL just would not let Kane breathe with the basketball. There were 2 and 3 guys. There were guys coming out of nowhere, turning them over, steal. And then you heard assistant coach Patrick Craig on the bench, push the pace. And it was that style, whether they got a steal or whether they got an offensive or a defensive rebound, they wanted to get the ball up the floor and shoot quickly.
They did that, and man, what a lift for them. Jace Ferguson returning to the lineup after missing 6 games with that elbow injury. And, I kind of looked out, Jess, and I was like, hey, is that Jace out there? And you're like, yeah, it is. And what a lift for this team to get him back. Even if he's not at 100%, he still does a lot of things for you.
Well, not only does he do a lot of things, but Chris, that is such a confidence boost for CL. Just the emotional lift that a kid like Jace brings. You know, he's not going to go out there and be vocal with a lot of people, but he leads by example. He didn't start tonight, and he was all right with that. But when he stepped on the floor, you could see the energy level come up. He was all over the place, steals, tips, rebounds, maybe not scoring as much as what he normally did, but he was getting back into the role of things. And you could see the other players on Clarion Limestone really, take an emotional lift when he stepped on the floor.
One of the things I mentioned to you was the Ferguson injury might have made them a deeper basketball team. They found Jack Callan. He averaged 10 points a game when Jace was out. They found Jack Craig, who had a big three-pointer to put the game into the mercy rule tonight. They found Ty Rankin a little bit more. Some of these guys were playing before Jace got hurt, but the added ability to do some things really, it makes them, I mean, they were basically switching lines tonight. We were going 5 and 5.
Absolutely. And what it made them deeper. We know that. But it also put an emphasis on other guys having like necessity. They had to step up. Alex Painter, even though he did score, he was around double digits for the season, but he has really stepped up his game. And you said it, Jack Craig. I couldn't be more impressed with that young man. Logan Lutz off the bench. Ty Rankin. Chris, at one point, at the end of the third quarter, now these are unofficial stats, I had CL at 40 rebounds, Kane at 19. Most of those were offensive on the offensive glass, getting putbacks. It was an impressive show tonight by the Clarion Limestone Lions.
It was. Hey, when we get back, we'll have the Pizza Hut looking ahead, recipe to success, what it's going to take for all the teams that won tonight and the teams that are playing tomorrow to move on into the playoffs. You're watching the Janney Montgomery, Scott, and Clarion QR code coaches chalkboard on the YDL Sports Network, D9and10sports.com.
For residential and commercial construction services you can trust, call Delta Contracting and Design Incorporated in Strattonville today at 814-764-5506. Or if it's concrete and excavating work you need done, then call Ace Concrete and Excavating at 814-764-5551. More on both Delta Contracting and Design and Ace Concrete and Excavating can be found at delcondesign.com. That's DELCON design.com. As you approach retirement, it is important to accumulate assets and build a financial plan that can sustain your lifestyle during your golden years. While calculating the cost of your changing income needs can be daunting, our Retirement Income Evaluator can help you develop a roadmap for the future. To learn more, stop by our office located at 162 South 2nd Avenue in Clarion. Give us a call at 814-223-9990 or visit JanneyClarion.com. Janney Montgomery Scott, LLC, member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC. Looking for affordable auto, home, and life insurance? Look no further than Allstate Insurance, the David Jones Agency in Clarion and Meadville. At the David Jones Agency, you get personalized attention from someone who lives where you do. The David Jones Agency meets you where you are. They are available during regular business hours, Monday through Friday at their office, via appointment at the office after hours, or remotely. The David Jones Agency also offers investment opportunities, including annuities and IRAs. The David Jones Agency can be reached in Clarion at 814-223-4000 and in Meadville at 814-337-5107. Buying, selling, or building a home? Then call Burford & Henry Real Estate today at 814-227-7355. For more than 15 years, Burford & Henry Real Estate Realtors have been ready to help you in your next property search. They are also the #1 agency selling more homes in the region than anyone else. And with their Showcase Homes divisions, their expert consultants can help you with building the home of your dreams. Check out Burford & Henry online at burfordandhenry.com. Burford & Henry Real Estate Services, something different.
Here at Clarion Limestone, just wrapping up here on the Janney Montgomery Scott QR Coaches Chalkboard Show. Chris Rossetti, Jess Quinn. You're seeing Andy Close live from Warren, PA there. And Jess, you're talking about the Pizza Hut recipe for success. And the recipe for success, let's start, Andy, with Otto Elgin versus Curwensville. On paper, it's a massive mismatch. What does Curwensville have to do to pull the upset?
I think they have to slow the game way down. The Otto Eldred likes to get out in transition. They like to run. They like to spread you out and shoot it from deep. Francis, Cousins, Blaine, those guys, they can all drill it from deep. I think Curwensville really has to make this a half-court game to have a chance.
And then looking ahead, What will Ridgeway have to do? I mean, obviously, if it's Kernsville, it's one thing, but if it's Otto Eldred, let's just say, for argument's sake, right now, it's Otto Eldred. What will Ridgeway have to do against Otto Eldred to move into the championship game?
Be Ridgeway. We know the style Ridgeway likes to play, and they've been very successful at it. Otto wants to play in the game in the 60s. Ridgeway does not. Ridgeway wants a lot fewer points than that. And I'll say this for the Elkers: they're defensively, they will get up in the face of those Otto guards and make things very uncomfortable for them. So again, I think the key is going to be for Ridgeway to control the pace, something they're very good at. And for Otto, get out and transition when you can, because that Ridgeway half-court defense is excellent.
Jess, flipping the script, CL Karn City. Like I said, we've seen this fish before. This will be meeting number 4. 2 of them without Jace Ferguson, 1 of them with. The game here at CL in December with Jace Ferguson. The Lions pressured, and it bothered Karn City. Game down at Karn City, the Gremlins really took over in the second half. Moved the ball, did whatever they really wanted to do, and then that game at the university on Saturday night was a slugfest. What do you expect in the fourth beat?
I tell you what, CL is going to. It was kind of like what Andy was just talking about with let's say potential Ridgeway Otto. CL wants to push the pace. They were going to push. CL's deeper off the bench than Karn City is. However, Karn City has an advantage on the offensive glass, on the rebound. So if CL can match them on the offensive glass, getting putbacks after putback after putback, or getting out, kind of like what Andy said, what Otto would want to do is get the defensive rebound, get an outlet pass, and run. That's when CL is at its best. So who can, in my opinion, Chris, I'm looking at it, who can impose their will on the other? Can Karn City, again, slow it down, dominate the glass? Can CL rebound well, push the pace, and play their style of defense?
Yeah, that pretty much brings it down. Let's break down, not really break down, but let's just take a quick look at tomorrow's schedule. We'll start in District 9, 5A. You have, 4A. You have St. Mary's versus Clearfield and girls, and Punxsutawney versus St. Mary's and boys in AAA. Andy, just real quick, your picks in those two.
I will take. Oh boy, I'll take St. Mary's girls, and that boys game. I will take. Oh, you put me on the spot. I'll take St. Mary's also. I'll take St. Mary's in a sweep.
and then there's 4 girls single A games tomorrow. Is there any one of those that you're looking most forward to?
I think Ridgeway North Clarion could be fascinating. North Clarion, obviously, without Homan in the playoffs, I'm interested to see how they react to that. And I think Port Allegheny Du Bois Central Catholic could be interesting as well. Kind of your classic 4-5 game.
Yeah, and people can watch that game right here on the YDL Sports Network, D9 and 10 Sports. Jess and I will be over in Du Bois tomorrow night for Du Bois Central Catholic Port Allegheny. We'll have another edition of the Janney Montgomery Scott QR code postgame show after that one as well. But that one's the one I'm looking most forward to. Andy, there's a couple of big games over in District 10 tomorrow night as well, a couple of championship games. Why don't you catch people up on those?
Absolutely. In 6A, it's McDowell and Erie. It's obviously the 2 6A teams. Last year, they went to overtime. McDowell rallied from an 11-point deficit, actually take the lead in regulation, and Erie hit a shot at the buzzer to send it to overtime. McDowell ended up winning in overtime. McDowell won the 2 regular season meetings against Erie by 10 and 12. But I would expect, those were 2 competitive games. Tough to beat a good team 3 times in one season, but definitely looking forward to that one. And in 5A, you have Cathedral Prep and Meadville. Of course, 2 years ago, Cathedral Prep won the state championship, went on that magical run. And last year, they were actually upset by General McLean in the D10 title game. They didn't make it to the state playoffs. McLean down in 4A this year, but they'll get a Meadville team that they handled pretty convincingly twice this year. But again, two teams that are very familiar with one another. Prep actually lost to McDowell to close the regular season. That was their only loss against a District 10 team this season. They went 19-3. So, yeah, I think they're poised to potentially make a deep playoff run and starting tomorrow night.
Well, Andy, thanks for joining us here on the Janney Montgomery Scott in Clarion QR Code Coaches Chalkboard Show. Jess and I, again, will have that game from you tomorrow night, live broadcast of DuBois Central Catholic versus Port Allegheny. Game time 7, probably about a 6:45 broadcast time. And then right after the game, we will have another edition of the Janney Montgomery Scott QR Code Coaches Chalkboard Show. Folks, thanks for joining us tonight. Until tomorrow night, good night.